Hello YouTube and valued viewers, Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife and EDC channel. Today is July 6th, 2026, the Monday after what I hope was, for everybody watching, a great, joyous 250th Independence Day, July 4th celebration over the long weekend. I had a pretty darn good weekend myself. Did have a little bit of rain, but other than that, a nice, relaxing weekend, just like I like. So, we're going to get into this Monday morning, this box that came in late last week from Austin and his staff over at Traditional Pocket Knives, C. Risner Cutlery. I want to thank him for getting this out to me. And after order, it takes maybe 2 days for shipment. Does some of the best customer service in the business. Thanks again. So we're going to use the Jack Wolf knives, Timberjack, to get into this box. I'm going to spare you those details, and hopefully in this box you're going to see them the first time like I am. We've got 2 knives and some stickers, but we're only going to take a look at one of the knives today, as I'm going to go ahead and start a open tag started by Knife Chats with Tobias. That is 10 by 10 by 10 knives. 10 knives shown in 10 straight days, and you talk about them for about 10 minutes. So let's pause the video. I'll get into this box and we'll take a look at its contents momentarily. All right, before we talk about the first knife in the 2 that came in the box, so they were in there, thank you. Again, I'm going to plug Austin at Traditional Pocket Knives. Here is his business card with his contact information. Veteran owned and operated. If we go here and look on the back, you could pause this video. Here is all of his contact information with Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I believe, and he also has his QAR code. You can contact him there and check out a great collection of traditional pocket knives, some of which are his. And we're going to take a look at some stickers. He's got some of the best in the industry, and some of these feature his own brand of knives. Here is a picture of the Ohio River Jack, one of his first designs that Austin did himself, and a sticker for Blade Show 2026. There you go. Now, I think currently on his site, he has this knife, which I believe is the Kentucky Holler Jack, but he also has some of his Sugar Maple Jacks and others. He had a July 4th sale going on where some of his private brands were reduced in price. I would definitely head over there, check him out, and see if he can still take advantage of those after holiday prices. There is one for summer in his brand of knives. And here's a good one. Happy husband, happy knife, because some hobbies are sharper than others. Very, very good advice. Here's a sticker celebrating our 250th birthday. Very nice, 1776 to 2026 with good old eagle and the star and bars. I like that. And finally, let's not forget, July 1st was Canada Day. July 4th is our day. But July 2nd, hey, that's UFO World Day. So there you go. Just some of the stickers you can get on his website. Go check him out. Always, again, some of the best in the business. Now we're going to pause the video, clear the table, and let's take a look at the first Rosecraft Blades knife this week. All right, here is our first white box of 2 we're going to take a look at for the week, but the first one here this Monday. So the first knife of the 10 by 10 by 10 open tag is going to be a brand new Rosecraft Blades in their new packaging for 2026. And of course that says always hand-built, finished, fit, and sharpened traditional slip joint knives, Rosecraft Blades. Now this is a new release of an older model. In fact, this was the first of a couple vault models that have come out of the vault and have been re-released after about a 3-year period. I hope you can read that, but what that sticker should say is RCT010, so model number 10, the Loosahatchie Jack. And this one is going to be the original release that came in some really nice looking dragon scales in an orange pattern. So let's take a look at it here. taken. Of course, all their knives come in the foam box with the insert and wrapped in butcher wax paper. And here we go. Now there is a pile side, but let's turn it over, and there is your show side with the standard rosebud shield, the Loosahatchie Jack, pardon me, with that, I'm going to call it bourbon brown or bourbon orange colored dragon scales. So a really nice looking and textured scale. Gives you some extra grip on this little knife, which helps me with extra large plus size hands. It makes it a really nice fifth pocket carry with that jigging or scaled, textured scale pattern. Now 4-pin construction on this one with the rosebud shield, single head fluted bolster, and a beautiful clip point style blade. Nice walk and talk. And a real nice pull on this one. This is definitely one that I would recommend to somebody that has some hand issues, maybe a little bit of arthritis, because the pull on this, I want to rate somewhere between a 3.5 to 4.5. It's a pretty easy knife to open up. You've got that fuller nail nick that runs halfway down the length of the knife and halfway down the spine, and then a beautiful canted, which means a downward tilted clip point blade with a swedge, and then has a little bit of recurve and belly that comes back up to its tang. Now I want to say this knife, we'll go ahead and set it down here by the ruler. I want to say this knife is just shy of about 6.5 inches long. Let's go ahead and sit it there. We'll get it lined up. Yes, when the knife is open, you have about a 6.5 overall inch length. Okay, with basically a 3.5 inch long handle when closed, and that leaves you about a 2 3/4 long blade with a 2.5 inch cutting edge. So I hope that you folks can see that. Always comes with a nice edge on it. And this one is no exception. Let's take a look at some of the fit and finish, and look at that. Absolutely no gaps. Honestly, never is on a Rosecraft, which is one of the reasons I highly recommend them, and it just makes a nice value purchase for your collection. Nice grippy texture on those dragon scales. Nice bourbon orange if you like that color. I certainly do. Let's turn it. Of course, it's stamped. On this side says Rosecraft, and then we have it etched on this other side with the model number, 14C28N steel, and then China, where it is manufactured. Of course, Rosecraft is an American-owned company here in Tennessee. All right, let's turn it over. We'll take a look at the pile side here. Okay, again, makes this is definitely a highly recommended fifth pocket carry knife. And honestly, I think if I was going to recommend a first knife try for people to get a feel for would they like to get into Rosecraft blades, I think I would have to probably recommend either the Loosahatchie Jack or the Loosahatchie Jack, this clip point blade for first try. Just a really nice knife, and I think most of you are going to enjoy it if you give it a shot. Again, 14C28N budget stainless steel, but holds a nice edge, has got good toughness on it, so you can use this for everyday task and not worry, okay, about holding an edge or having that knife, chip or roll as far as the edge goes, or even break the tip. You should be fine. All right, just makes a nice carry, and again, just a nice looking knife on this one. So there you go. There's the first knife in my 10 for 10 for 10 open tag response to Knife Chats with Tobias. They, I believe, are still available. You may have to dig around and look at dealers. Again, Rosecraft Blades did not carry this model this time. They sold all of their stock to dealers. So I would check out some of your favorite knife dealers and see if you can still get a hold of this Loosahatchie Jack in the dragon scales. If not, maybe they have the second release that we'll take a look at tomorrow, and that was the Dapper Jigged Bone version. So this is Byron from Splitting Slices saying split a slice with a friend soon, and until my next video, everybody, please take care.